Today I'll be interviewing my good friend Colin Fanning, a student at Brockport. Colin, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So Colin, I was hoping if you could tell me a story about the last time you faced a problem within the fitness and health industry.
Yeah, so recently in the past couple months with the onset of these new regulations for basically just everything in our daily lives due to COVID, one of the most impactful ones for me was the closing of gyms, fitness centers, etc. Um, Going to the gym is my number one way of like exercising and staying fit and healthy. It keeps me motivated to eat healthy and stay on a good track with that. And once the gyms were closed down, I sort of began to lose motivation to exercise on my own terms, i.e., running or body weight exercises at my own home. And once that started going out the window, I began to be a little less strict about my health and, began eating more junk food and stuff like that. So it was definitely a big problem to face.
That makes sense. So what would you say was the hardest part about all that?
The hardest part was trying to find the discipline to encourage myself to work out on my own. And, once you break habits that you've already had, it becomes harder to form those habits again. So, if I tried to start exercising again, or I tried to start eating a better diet, pretty quickly I would become overwhelmed and kind of fizzle out per se. Um, so it was just really tough to keep myself disciplined and get on a new regimen without having the structure of going to the gym at the same time every day.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. So why would you say that was so difficult then?
Just personally, I like having like a structured schedule, and I like being familiar with my schedule and doing the same things. So, I've had habits formed where, you know, I go to the gym at the same time. I have a workout planned already that I do with what's available to me at the gym. So the biggest part was kind of having to figure out how to overcome not having access to these things anymore and trying to teach myself how to do these things on my own terms instead of what was provided to me through my fitness club.
So currently, what would you say that you've been doing to solve your problem right now?
So to solve the problem, I started getting on a regimen of, keeping track of what I did during the week, and I would try and plan out what I should do during the next week. So that way I have kind of a basis of what I'm working with and what I have to look forward to work with instead of relying on the foundation of the gym to keep me motivated. I had to kind of make my own terms.
Absolutely. So with the timeline of the pandemic still pretty questionable, what would you say that is the thing that you're going to do to kind of keep on a regimen? Do you think that you're going to stick with your planning out something to look forward to for the next week? Do you think that there's going to be some sort of different solution that you're going to come to? What are you kind of thinking about right now?
Yeah, so, touching back on that previous point I made about being familiar with my own personality, I do think having a strict regimen on keeping a log of the things I've done and, you know, having stuff to look forward to for the next week and just keeping track of my progress and seeing the improvements that I'm making, that is something that, provides some motivation to me and keeps me diligent on making sure that I'm continuing to um, follow the plans I'm making and not just give up on them.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Colin, I really appreciate you coming on, and I really appreciate answering these questions for me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sean.